Hey everyone, how's it going? It's your homie Blaze. All right, the tournament's over. Well, for like a week now already. I was meant to get back to this for a while now, but work and classes were keeping me back. So I really couldn't get to this as soon as I would like to. But anyway, here I am trying to give my thoughts on the tournament. So let's start with the big one that I mentioned. I got my rank, and it is number 7. So in the tournament, I got number 7 in the world. So yay! Not bad for an asshole who flies an F-15C, right? um, so some of you have asked what I used for that tournament, and might as well show you all. This is my setup right now. Yes, I did get the Golem emblem, as you see right there. That you got over if you got like in the 1,000 ranks or lower. So I got that, and might as well show you what I have for my setup. So as you can see, my F-15 is actually a level 10, which I managed to get over the course of time when I was playing in the tournament. For my equipment, I actually used the high-powered air-to-air missile, and it's a level 2. So this thing, I suffered by homing, so the homing sucked on the thing. So I had to angle my shots at a target and just hope to God it hit. And as for my equipment parts, let's see, equipped, I used a enhanced engine nozzle 2 for acceleration, in case, because at times I do slow down to be able to get a quick shot off. So I needed to make sure I get a quick get my speed back up quickly. Had a pitch enhancement, a roll enhancement. I had a speed of my standard missiles enhancement, homing. Propulsion for my special type missiles, so I make sure my special missiles can actually hit in time, because people have a tendency of reacting really fast. And I had a link communications high output antenna, so that made my data link work a bit faster depending on range. So I had that, and as you can see the speed and mobility and my stats for my plane is pretty fucking insane. So yeah, I played with that on the tournament. As for my data link effect, I had high homing plus, made it easier for my shots to hit, depending on the angle I was shooting them. Still went with the aggressor skin, and I was flying the a different emblem other than the Golem emblem, but before I flew with the Oleo, since I really did like the emblem. It's fucking nice. But yeah, that's pretty much what I flew with. It's hopefully when a tournament comes by, you decide to use something similar. Well, this worked for me, so I hope it works for you. Now, let's see, text message. As for my thoughts towards the tournament, alright, tournament-wise, I really did like it. I loved the tournament. It was really, really good. PvP and TDM is way more intense, way more satisfying for me than co-op missions, because the problem with co-op missions is that they're too fucking easy. Targets are really easy to take out. A lot of people who who don't like to compete on that stuff prefer co-op, and they kind of have a tendency of bashing TDM because of that, because they feel, oh no, people who have higher spec planes have a tendency of having an advantage, which is not necessarily true. I managed to prove that wrong, especially in my videos, and I managed to, I told people on the Ace Combat Facebook fan page to don't just give up and all that shit, because it's not true. It's more than that. You would need to, the people who are flying in high level planes, it gives them an advantage, but it still comes down to the pilot themselves. If the person who's flying the plane is not skilled, it doesn't matter if you have a high spec plane or not. You're gonna get yourself fucked up. Proved that, and people have noticed that themselves before the tournament when the tournament started. I knew right away, because I played matches where I'm playing against other players, PvP, so many times in different games that I've noticed. Doesn't matter what kind of advantage what advantage you give yourself. If you do not know how to play right yourself, it won't mean anything. So that's one. The other thing that I wanted to mention, which is a negative, which I noticed, is the tendency of seeing some people tricking new players into lobbies where they think, for example, they say it's beginners only. Yet there are people who are hosting this that are high, that have the highest level planes you could possibly get and the best gear you could possibly get at the same time. There was one that I took notice of a lot, but I'm not gonna drop names because that's not me. But on on the Ace Combat fan page, people have named him and they took notice of him. So I noticed one day I saw his lobby open and I said, hey, you know what, let me try joining this and see how this guy is, you know. I mean, this guy, if this guy thinks he's great, he needs to face someone who's possibly his equal or better. You know, if you're going to be the best, you got to fight against the best. So unfortunately, he kicked me. That was a clear sign that he didn't want anybody who was a rank higher than a 1,600 to be in the lobby, because that would make it hard for him to rank up in the leaderboards, and that's pretty much it. He didn't want anybody who could give him a challenge. He wanted to feed off of low-level players to be able to rank up. In the world of MMOs, those kind of people are called gankers. Gankers is basically someone who kills off low-level players in order to benefit themselves. Simple as that. So in the future, it'd be a good idea to have, you know, if Project Aces or Namco Bandai watch this video or something, or maybe you all can spread this video to them, or spread the thoughts on it. It'd be a good idea to find some way to, you know, prevent something like this from happening, prevent people from being able to, you know, trick new players into a lobby like that and feed off of them. Because honestly, that's very cheap and that's very messed up. Because honestly, that'll kill new players' wantings to play a game any longer. There was already a lot of damage going on with the game. You know, people saying, you know, the people that have the highest level spec planes are gonna win. Period. And if new players coming in heard those rumors and they just joined a match like that in TDM and then seeing that for the first time, that's gonna prove that right. And you know, honestly, for me, it's not always true, because again, the player behind the plane matters more in the end. But the thing is if you're a new player, you're just learning and all that stuff, it's really fucked up, because then that'll kill their mood to play the game and they'll probably never play the game anymore. So that really ticks me off, because I've seen that happen before in different games, not just Ace Combat. I've seen it happen to multiple games. So hopefully there's some way that can be fixed, because you know, it's not fair for them to have a bad experience because of some asshole who decided to take advantage of a small little system, a system that you can go around and trick people into, and you know, take advantage of that. That's not right. And for me, I'm someone who's really competitive, I always had this thought in my head where, you know, I've always followed this little code of honor that I've always been with, where if you want to be the best, you have to fight against the best, and if you win against someone who's your equal or better, there's a sense of glory behind that. There's something you can brag about. You can say, hell yeah, I was the one that beat this guy who was probably better or my equal. There's a good sense of that. And when you have people, you know, giving you messages saying, you know, oh yeah, good game, you know, you're pretty good and that stuff, you know, they give you respect and admiration, that's way better. That feels way better than having like hate mail and all that stuff, because people look up to you. People like people like you because you play fair. That is something that's way better than, you know, getting a rank up because you were using a cheap method. So some people are going to say, well, Blaze, you played against people that were lower level than you and that stuff. Yeah, that's true. But I don't boot people. When I was hosting lobbies, I never boot anybody, because I prefer fighting someone who's better than me or my equal, because doing so will improve my game if I lose. That's how I am, and that's how I've always been. So if for me, if I fought someone who was, you know, lower level than me, of course I'm not going to go easy on them, because again, life, trial and error. And for one thing, people treated me that way when I was playing, and honestly, I'm glad that people never went easy on me, because that let me learn from my mistakes and helped me learn faster of how a game worked. So Also, it would be kind of disrespectful, in my view, if I didn't go easy on anybody, because that's just me mocking them. That's not right. I prefer treating everybody as an equal. That's how I've always been, and I feel as though that's, that's respect. That's me treating them, as anybody else. I don't give anybody special treatment, because again, that's that later on they'll say, well, you weren't taking me seriously. That's kind of fucked up. So anyway, that's my thoughts. What else? Let me brainstorm. Oh yeah. For now, the tournament's over and all that stuff. That's pretty much it. The tournament's over. We're back to co-op for now. We have another little tournament going on right now. I think it's the let me see. We have a limited time drop right now for Raphael. I don't know how to fucking say that, but it basically has an angel wings on it. We also have a tournament going on at the moment, which is probably going to be over by the time I upload this, or whatever time in the future, where you get like the Indigo Squadron and Galt emblems from Ace Combat Zero. So I'm not gonna compete in those, because it's not as satisfying fighting against AI for me than compared to the TDM environment, because that was really good. It pushed me big time, and I haven't felt that sense of competition in a long time. So for closing thoughts, hopefully in the future when another TDM comes by, I'll have a better spec plane than this and be able to compete against people that had a greater advantage than me. Like the F-15C really helped me out in the end. It was really damn good plane. People were saying, yeah, lower level planes can't compete against 5th generation fighters. I proved that wrong, big time. I've seen people actually beat other people in F4s and MiGs. So it's as I said, it just depends on the players themselves. So I hope you all agree, or if you disagree, then go ahead, share your thoughts. If you agree and you want to inform other people about these thoughts, go ahead, spread it around, and hopefully maybe in the future we have improvements over the TDM system. And oh yeah, about the TDM, it should have more time on it, I guess, like some people say. I thought it was okay. Rewards, it was all right. I mean, people complain over the research, which I was either way with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me anyway. If you have any other thoughts, go ahead and post them and share this video for those who are willing to hear about it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. We have another update coming in soon for Ace Combat Infinity. It's gonna have a new mission for campaign, a new emergency mission for an emergency sortie mission for co-op, which is gonna have a Stonehenge assault. We're gonna have new planes. I heard we're gonna have the Su-37 and a few other planes. So when that comes out, I'll gladly show you all, and I'm probably gonna make a separate video showcasing the planes of the ones I've earned, the Shogun and the F-15 stripes that I got. So I'll post that on a different video showing you all the planes and how they function. So we'll see where we go from there. So for now, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.